Good morning, Unity. What a beautiful day. It's going to be in the 80s, and then it's going to be in the 50s again, and it's that time of year. But let's enjoy these beautiful 80s while we have them. It's not back there, so it's here. Okay. We're still figuring things out. Maybe. No, it's just not showing up back there. Okay. Anyway, so we have Drumming Circle, second Sunday of the month, which means it's today. And there's Jimmy back there. He's standing up. He is our fearless leader in the Drumming Circle, and it's always amazing. So go to that if you can. And Mystic Fest. Volunteers are still wanted, so you can sign up through the e-blast. Or you can talk with Jackie. Is Jackie here? I don't see Jackie. Not today. But you can talk to Jackie or sign up through the e-blast. Please, it's really a lot of fun, so please help with that. Oh, there we go. And today is the Ethnic Multicultural Potluck. How cool is that? My dad's mom was Czech, and she taught my mom how to make kolaches. So I brought kolaches, and I'll just admit, I did not make them. I tried to make them once, and the little indentation didn't stay, so they were just these big puffy things with stuff all over the top. They tasted good, but they looked really bad. So I said, no, I'll just get them at the Lithuanian bakery. But there's going to be lots of good food, so please join us for that. Oop. And come to the Youth of Unity, which is at 10 a.m. Lots of fun things for the kids. So make sure, if you have friends with kids, just say, hey, we got a good group here at Unity that really embraces the kids in this teaching as well. Oh, and also, before we go into meditation, we're going to have songs today, and we want everybody to sing along. And I don't want this little thing in your head saying, oh, I can't sing. Nope, nope, nope. Just throw that away. We can all sing. We can all rejoice. And please join us in singing after we get started here. So let's get ready for meditation. And you can just close your eyes or lower your gaze. Oh, and take a deep breath with me. And let it go. And know, in this glorious, glorious moment, that there is always guidance for each of us, and that we are guides for others. Maybe young people that aren't as experienced as we are. How can you use your wonderful wisdom and experience to help guide others? And where can you ask for guidance from other people? It's okay to ask for help when we need it. So let's take this time today to contemplate that guidance that we give, that we receive, that helps each of us to learn and grow and become even more enlightened, more compassionate, whatever those things are that we are looking for. So let's take this time in the silence with this beautiful music to contemplate this. Oh, and I'm so very grateful. Grateful in knowing that that divine source is in all as all. I know that I am one with this source, this power, this love, this grace, and one with each and every person here today in the sanctuary. And I know that we are beautiful stewards of the living source within each and every one of us. That we take that love and light and we shine it out to others, guiding those that may need our help and support, and allowing guidance from others when we need it. And I'm so grateful for that divine source that always is there within to offer love, guidance, support. Grateful for each and every person here today. Grateful for Reverend Brenda and her message. And grateful for our wonderful music ministry. And also our people in the booth. So grateful for all that help support this beautiful Unity Church. And I release these words knowing it is so, with ease, grace, love, and joy. And so it is. Amen. Hang on, I'm coming. All right. I wasn't ready. All right. I'm Susan Kimball. I am your prayer chaplain today, so I'll be in the Peace Chapel after service. So come stop by for prayer. This is from The Universe is Calling by Eric Butterworth. And this is why it was all about guidance today. God's guidance is the immanence of divine mind that is present in its entirety at every point in space at the same time. So guidance, the clear direction in whatever you may be doing, is always present. And the important decisions are not to be made, but to be discovered. I always I overanalyze, and decisions can be hard to make sometimes. So this really hit home for me. So I'm going to read that again. The important decisions are not to be made, but to be discovered. Divine guidance is never prejudiced, a predetermination of what you should do or the way which you should go. It will always relate to your ideals at the highest level of your consciousness. Seeking guidance is not waiting for some answer or help from the outside. It is waiting for an intuitive flash and then moving your feet.
It's called a science project. Welcome. Sing, and it ends. You just, okay, we're done. Right? Thank God we're done, because that's a little rough right there, but it's our first time, let's be patient with ourselves. Okay, who is here for the first time? If you are, please raise your hand just so we can recognize you. Yay! Thank you. All right. Well, I'm Reverend Brenda, and it's nice to meet you and see you, and thank you for choosing Unity for today. And as always, we're going to start off with jokes. Yay! Okay, here we go. Let's see, which one do I want to do? Oh, a Sunday school teacher asked her little children as they were on their way to service, "Why is it necessary to be quiet in church?" One bright little girl replied, "Because people are sleeping." That's true. All right. So the other one says, a little boy was overheard praying, "Lord, if you can't make me a better boy, don't worry about it. I'm having a really good time as I am." Right? I like that one too. But you might like this one better. The preacher's 5-year-old daughter noticed that her father always paused and bowed his head a moment before starting his sermon on Sunday morning. One day she asked him why. "Well, honey," he began, proud that his daughter was so observant of his messages, "I'm asking God to help me preach a good sermon." Well then, how come he doesn't answer?" she says. I'm glad my kids don't sit in here. All right. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about prayer in Unity and affirmative prayer. So if you're new to Unity, this is going to be a little bit different than traditional. The Unity, we do affirmative prayer. And for some, this is a whole concept that is, that kind of is out there. Like, what do you mean? And so today I hope that you get a better understanding of Unity prayer and how to maybe do it, but also to know that when you are starting out, try to be gentle with yourself and not like, "Oh, I'm not praying the right way, so I can't pray." It seems like in Unity we have this, and it's funny, but it seems like in Unity we have this fear of praying. But yet Unity was founded on prayer. So just settle in and know that you're okay just right where you are. So prayer is the founding piece of Unity. The healing power of affirmation prayer started in the 1800s when Charles and Myrtle Fillmore each experienced physical healing from their prayers and faith in God. Now, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore are our co-founders of Unity. And Myrtle, especially, she had tuberculosis way back then, in the 1800s, and she had it growing up. And when she came into the idea of, "I am a child of God, I do not inherit dis-ease," then things shifted for her. And so she started meditating and praying about, I think it says 2 hours every day, and just feeling, thanking each and every part of her body, affirming that each and every part of her body was working in the divine order that it was supposed to. And within 2 years of doing that, it is said that she was healed from tuberculosis. So you can imagine, let's put it up today. If, somebody in our membership said, "I prayed and meditated and now I can walk," or "now I, no longer have diabetes," or whatever it might be. Of course you're going to go, "What did you do?" It's kind of like weight loss, right? "Oh my God, you look so great. What'd you do?" So everybody flocked to Myrtle right away, wanting to know how she did this. And so that is how this whole Unity started, was from affirmative prayer. Now, affirmative prayer is very different than traditional prayer. So most of us, I think, are used to traditional prayers. And so those are the prayers that go, "Oh my gosh, if you get me through this traffic, I will, go to church on Sunday." Or if you have that person at work go away, then I'll go to church on Sunday. It always seems like I'll go to church on Sunday. Or, I'll be a better person, or I'll do right things, or I'll give more money to charity. It's this begging and pleading and kind of like a, if you do this, I'll do this for you type of prayer. Or it can also be it can be one of thanksgiving. There are just traditional prayers of thank you, praise you, all that, which is good. None of these prayers are bad. I'm not saying they're bad. It's just this is how a lot of us were used to praying. And I think this is why we have a little leap to make into affirmative prayer. The other prayers could be, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. I'm not lovable. I'm less than prayers. And when we come from that space, it doesn't feel so great, does it? And a lot of times people wonder why their prayers aren't answered. That's the other thing. So in unity with affirmative prayer, we come at it a different way. There's Charles standing by silent unity. So what they did is when all these people came, at first Myrtle was in her house, taking appointments to hold people in prayer or hold them, pray not for them, but with them. And so that got to be so much that then she started writing letters to people who wrote in and, doing things like that. And then it evolved to what we have right now is Silent Unity, which is also called Unity Prayer Ministry, where they take phone calls, emails, texts. You can write in, and they will hold your prayer in silent vigil for 30 days. And that's still going on today. Now in 1889, Myrtle started gathering friends and acquaintances to pray, and within a year she created Society of Silent Help. That's what Silent Unity was first called, and the group was renamed in the Society of Silent Unity in 1891 and made its base of operation at the 9th and Tracy Avenue in 1928 in Kansas City, Missouri. And now it's at Unity Village. So prayer is very important to unity. But how do we make the leap to affirm from the prayers that we used to know to affirming prayers? So this kind of clicks a little bit. This is from Mark 11, verse 24. So I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. So this is telling us, come from it with the energy of, I already am. So if you want to be healthy, you would say, I am healthy and whole. Now this seems very backwards, because if you're not really feeling healthy and whole, then how are you supposed to say that? That's where it's your work to get into that feeling of, okay, I know my cells are working in the right and proper order. I feel my blood flowing. My heart is working. My lungs, I'm breathing. I know all of that is working in the right order. So I know that everything else will work in the right order also. And it's a feeling that you get into. And then when you say, I am healthy and whole, you really are meaning that, because your heart is beating. So just start there. My heart's beating. I am healthy and whole. And get into that feeling of, this is true. This is true. Because again, whatever you believe, you've already received it. Some people like to liken this to magic. It is not magic. It is you believing already what is already true. It's just that leap from going, I'm not worthy, I need your help, please help me, God, please help me, God, please help me, God, to, I know that you're helping me. I know it's already happened. I know it's there. I'm the one that just needs to catch up. I'm the one that needs to do the work to get there, because I know that the God within me, the divine within me, has made this happen. I'm the one that needs to catch up. So I'm not going to go into this just yet, but this is the 5-step prayer process of unity. But before we get into this is a new way to pray. It's a new way to pray for all of us. And it seems a little wonky at first. We say, I remember when I started, I didn't even want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. Because I'm afraid of praying wrong. Why are we afraid of praying wrong? Are we afraid that God is going to come down and smite us? Because I can tell you that's not happening. Are we afraid? What are we afraid of? Looking like a fool in front of our people, in front of the community? Why? Because every one of us has a loving heart. Every one of us knows that we're all doing the best we can right now where we're at. Why is prayer so scary? I can't answer that question for you. But I know for me, it was I want to be right. I want to be perfect. I want to make sure I get this done. And then when I became a minister, it's like, I'm a minister. I don't know how many times I've been up here praying and oh my God, I'm saying the same prayer. In my head, I'm saying the same prayer again. And then I hear the small, still voice said, yes, you are, and that's just fine. So pray it. Or if you've ever been anywhere in a ministerial class, or if you've been a webinar with ministers, or anywhere where there's ministers, they'll say, who wants to pray us in? Because that's what we do in Unity. And none of the ministers will. None of them will. And why? Because we want to be right. We want to be perfect. We can't be vulnerable and authentic. Good Lord, no. We can't be ourselves, which is one of my, it's not one, it's my mission. I'm myself. What you get up here is what you get out there. And so if I'm going to mess up a prayer here, I'm going to mess it up out there too. And that's okay. Because I have another day, another time, another moment to hit it out of the ballpark. But really, why does that matter? Are we thinking that our prayers won't be answered? Again, it starts with us and our ability to feel and know that this is true. Remember, we've already received it. We've already received it. So this is the 5-step prayer process, and this is the other thing that kind of hangs people up because they're like, I can't remember these 5 steps. They're really, you do it all the time without even knowing it. I promise you do. But I wanted to take you through, this is Reverend Edith Washington Woods, and it's Finding Peace Through Prayer. And again, we have these booklets free for you in the back, so when you, on your way out, make sure to pick one up. And so we'll go to the first step when, and this was before she became a minister, so she was in the same place as you. She just had started Unity. She had no idea, but she heard about these, and she's like, okay, let's try this. So she said, the first step invited me to relax. This was the way to shift from the events of the day and take a journey to open my heart. I practice this by taking a few conscious breaths in and out. As I continue to breathe, I focus my attention on the top of my head, directing my breath there. Then I focus my breath down through every area of my body until it reached my toes, and I could feel my entire body relaxing into nothingness in the moment. How many of you know how to relax? Okay, see, I know you all do, but maybe you don't. I won't make that assumption. But relaxing is easy, so we can do this. We can relax. Every time you sit in the chair, your body goes, oh, right? Relax. So then the next one is concentration. The next step of becoming free was to concentrate. In that moment, I affirmed, God is. I recognize this presence is everywhere, is finite, the universal life force, and the wind beneath the wings of all that is, was, and ever will be. God is. So the concentration that she's talking about is getting into that feeling of the divine, and that the divine is all around you, in, through you, as you. Around you, God is. So it's getting into that feeling. That's concentration. Then I moved into meditation. I integrated my humanness with my divine essence by affirming these words as my mantra. God is source, flowing in, through, and as me. I feel the presence of God. Now, if that's too many words for you to remember, just say, God is. God is, God is, God is. And just say that as a little mantra, a little meditation, just to start you off. What we're doing here is setting you up for that feeling, setting you up for getting your vibration to rise. And in the sacred container I had created, I realized, in this realization, I became very silent. So silent that I couldn't hear the sounds of life all around me. The crickets, space between the words, space to experience the divine as me. I realized all that I had been yearning and searching for was already within me. So here she's really getting into that feeling of, oh my gosh, it's me. It's in me. As me. Feeling that feeling of energy and vibration. She's realizing it now. Because you can't just, come off from the street and go, okay, let's pray. Here we go. Whoo, blah, 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 blah. You have to get into that feeling of oneness. As I concluded this expansive time with myself, I gave thanks. I was grateful for this new and different way of releasing the day. I was thankful to have a new way to celebrate and affirm my life. This 5-step prayer process allowed me to have peace instead of being anxious or worried about being laid off, because she was in the middle of wondering if she was going to be laid off. Instead, I intuitively knew that everything was going to work out, and it did. I have been able to return countless times to this prayer practice in times of despair and in times of joy. I am the point at which all of the universe rises up to bless my space, thoughts, actions, and reactions. It's very powerful when you use it. The one thing that she said in here about using this, and so like last night, I had somebody call me, and a relative, and she said, could you please pray for that person? And she is not of unity, so I didn't explain, no, I don't pray for people. Because in unity, we don't pray for people. We pray with people. We support people in prayer. Now, why? Because I am not the creator of their reality. They are. So for me to tell them what to do in prayer, even if they energetically get it, is not right. It's their journey. It's their time. It's their experience. They need to experience what they need to experience on their path. But I can support them in prayer. So how would I do that? Again, getting into relaxing, concentration, meditation, realizing, and thanks, but about me, to send that energy of love to them, saying whatever happens. You are supported by the universe. I love you. God loves you. Spirit loves you. Universe loves you. Getting into that feeling. If you were around when Reverend Becky did the Greg Braden prayer class, so Greg Braden, if you don't know him, he was a rocket scientist who somehow found his way more into the spiritual realm. And he has very seamlessly taken science and spirituality together. And when he did this, he talked about prayer, the lost mode of prayer. And he talked about a friend of his that was indigenous, and they were going to pray for rain. So really quick, I'll tell you, they went out to the desert and to this sacred space that his friend knew of, and his friend just stood there and closed his eyes and just did this. And about 5 minutes later, he opens up his eyes and says to Greg, "You want to go for lunch somewhere?" And Greg says, "I thought we were going to pray. What, I thought you were going to do prayer. What's happening?" He goes, "I did. I just did." "What do you mean?" "I felt the rain on my body. I felt the mud through my toes. I felt the wind blowing. I felt the coldness." He was in that moment of rain. He was feeling the rain. He was being one with the rain. And he opened his heart up to all of it. And I guess about a week later, it rained. And the rain that they needed. So see, prayer can be done very differently. You can do this. If this works for you, that's great. If it doesn't, okay. Getting into the feeling like Greg's friend did, beautiful. I invite you to try a new way to pray and to find what works for you. Because whatever works for you, you're going to get into that feeling of God is. And you're going to push that love out to the world and to others. And you're going to be a magnet that people will come to just to be in your presence. Because you are divine and you are love. Yes, Deb.
I'd like to speak. I spent a year as a prayer captain here at Unity, and it was really challenging for me. I took it really seriously. One of the things that I just want to say to people is, I don't think you can be wrong in praying. When you come to God, a lot of times we want to just come and be thankful for everything good in our lives. But there's an issue, a problem, a concern, a grief that is really guiding us. And sometimes when we go to pray, it is because, please, God, would you lift this from me? Let me tell you about it, how it's changing me. I'm not my best self. Could you please help me? Now, that's called a begging prayer, and I am begging. But in getting it out, there comes a sense of calm. That is really where my concerns are, God. And I'm sorry, there's much more going on. And I am grateful for so much in my life. But I do have some concerns. And I'm asking for you to intervene, to help me, to be with me. And that's something I think we don't stress enough in Unity. One of the other challenges, I'll just be honest, that I've had at Unity is I refer to God as God. I always have. I'm very comfortable with that. I pray most of the day. It's just a part of who I am. And I refer to God as He. I've never thought about it. I don't think of God as being a human person at all. I'm not praying to a human. A lot of you humans have probably heard my prayer, have heard my complaint, what I'm worried about. You're not who I'm going to and asking for some help and to intervene and to calm myself and to feel that peace. And I've been told that I should not refer to God as he. And so that's kind of inhibited me in some ways. I don't do that to try to make anyone feel bad about themselves. That's my statement, but it's not about me. It's about you. I have enjoyed praying with all of you, and I hope I'll continue to do that with you in the future. But I just want you to know sometimes it's difficult. And I know when I let my heart out, I feel the closest to God. I feel that's when the calm comes out. And I realize that there's another way of looking at this. And sometimes I pray day by day if it's something really big. God, if you just help me get through today in the best way. Or if you'll just take this from me, just for today. And I will pick it up when I get home. It's all good, and it's for the good, and it is for you, and you can benefit from it. And thank you for allowing me to speak to you.
Thank you, Deb. All right, and so it is. All right, so if you have been supported by Unity, please think about supporting Unity back through your gifts and tithes. And you can text 402-543-5339 or go to unityomaha.org and click on the donate button, or also by mail. And for those of you who are up here, go ahead and drop off your love offering there, and make sure you take an affirmation, because this is the universe's message to you. And mine is, my body is healthy, my mind is brilliant, and my soul is tranquil. All right, let's go ahead and say the prosperity affirmation for April. I express gratitude for all the good in my life. Each day brings wonderful new surprises. Yes, it does. Okay, if you would help me bless the tithes in time and talents that we've had here today, knowing that this energy of creativity, of love, peace, of wonder has come in and through us and has lifted us up. And so as it lifts us up, it lifts up Unity Worldwide Headquarters, Unity Worldwide Ministries, and Silent Unity, knowing that the message of love, peace, and harmony is being spread everywhere. And so it is. Amen. Okay, and today Susan will be in the Peace Chapel, Prayer Chapel after service. So if you do need to be held in prayer, please see her after service. And we're having the potluck today. Yay! So if you said that you would help also to clean up, please make sure to do that. And enjoy. And let's all say the prayer for protection together. Because I say the whites, and you say the yellows. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. All right, a new way to pray. Go do it.